Hey everybody, welcome back to another movie review. Hope you guys been enjoying the content on the channel as of late. And I decided, just for curiosity's sake, and I knew what the movie was going to be, and I'll just be completely honest, I didn't want to pay for the full price, because I know my brother was curious to see this, but to be quite frank, I just did not give a shit about it. I didn't want to see it. But I knew one way or another I was going to be dragged to watch it, so I figured just to get it out of the way, um, I might as well just go see Gran Turismo, which was, I believe, written. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. Directed by Neil Blomkamp, who has, at least I say his last name right, who's done notable pieces in the past, District 19, as well as Chappie, Elysium. He was supposed to do an Alien film at one point, but he got canceled apparently. So, um, based off of the PlayStation game, and stars some kid video gamer who's trying to prove himself. He's trying to prove himself to his father, showing that, hey, look, my hobbies, do pay off in some way. And David Harbour and Orlando Bloom, who work for Nissan, bring him into their organization, and they want him to compete in a racing competition to prove that, I guess, anybody can be a racer or something like that. It's this. So, what you get is basically an underdog story, and at the same time, a movie about inclusivity. It's about, the message of anybody can do anything sort of thing. And what the film expectingly does is fail absolutely in believability, because I did not believe, and I still don't believe in that this is truthful in most respects. I think that the movie is embellishing it absolutely, because they make it seem that, oh, well, he played a video game for many, many hours, and now somehow, some way, he knows everything about vehicles, even though he doesn't have a profession, like a degree in such thing. He doesn't have any experience driving vehicles extensively. He's not a mechanic. Like, he doesn't have any of these backgrounds whatsoever. But somehow, some way, because he plays, he's consumed a shit ton of hours sitting in his room. He somehow understands how to operate a vehicle quite well, enough for him to win the Le Mans, enough for him to operate a vehicle at super fast speeds that he's never ever in his life has ever has done before. Like, the believability of it all is completely absent, and what you get from it is something that is just so boring. So boring. I was just like, if it wasn't for the family that was sitting next to me, which they seem to be having a fairly decent time with it, I would have just started moaning and groaning, because it was just so fucking boring. So predictable, so, like, lifeless in terms of performances. Like, the lead performance is just terrible. Like, I don't know who that kid is. I think he's probably a social media influencer, just based on his demeanor and just based on his attitudes. I'm pretty sure he's probably some fucking YouTuber or some social media influencer, because he comes across as just so wooden and so, like, just, like, abysmal. Like, that's the word I got eventually with his performance. It's just so abysmal. And then you have David Harbour and Orlando Bloom, who just are kind of there, like, just to get a check, or just to, like, to get some name factor, just to keep their name alive in some respects. It's just like, I'm wondering why they made this, because on one hand, it is just an excuse to show off fancy cars. Like, it's just an excuse to self-market themselves as well, because Sony, like, plasters themselves all over the film with, like, PlayStation logos and like Sony headphone sets. Like, I guess in some manner it's just a vehicle of just a means of marketing itself, but it is, like, there's no better illustration than the sound mixing, which is just bad. Like, like the sound mixing like is just bad. I could not understand, like on one level I couldn't comprehend the film because I just didn't care. But in another respect, I literally couldn't understand the film because of the way the sound is mixed. Like it's um more what's the word? It's more interested in the vroom 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 than in the meaningfulness, than um, in the in the purpose, in finding a genuine purpose. It's just a snooze. Like I was wanting to fall asleep, but because the film is loud, it's just one of those films where it's just, hey, I'm loud, and I'm throwing a bunch of like songs because we want to be relevant with the kids. Um, and we'll do a bunch of montages because hey, we just can't. I just found it so boring. I just did not care about it, and just talking about it, it's like I just kind of want to just forget about it because it's just so disposable. Um, so yeah, very like, borderline terrible performances, particularly the lead. He's just terrible. Um, Completely purposeless narrative, and just overall, but just by design, it just feels absolutely purposeless. It just feels completely purposeless. Um, the one mark that it does get is that the vroom 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 is interesting in the like, oh okay, I guess the racing is kind of cool, but beyond that, I did not care. I just did not care about this at all. It's long, it's loud, and it has absolutely nothing to say except this very hollow message of, oh, hey, anybody can be a racer. And in the context of it all, it is completely unbelievable. Um, like, completely unbelievable. And they make a point to, like, say, like, throughout the marketing, that, oh, it's based on a true story. It's based on a true story. It's based on a true story. And like, I wonder if they did that because they themselves realize how ridiculous, or like how much they're embellishing the truth. Because it's just, I have to imagine that the real story of this is actually a little bit more understanding. I'm pretty sure that kid has like has a mechanical background or something like that. It's not like this, um, because it doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense, and um, like yeah, man, it was just boring, boring in all caps. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Gran Turismo. I thought it was quite the snooze, um, expectingly, but yeah. But you guys know your thoughts on Gran Turismo. If you guys choose to go see it, it comes out on August 11th, I think. So if you choose to see it, sure. I heard a kid coming out saying that he thought that this was better than 4v Ferrari, and I gave a small look at him. He didn't see me, I don't think, but I just looked at him, just like, are you fucking kidding me? Um, but it's all subjective, I guess. But 4v Ferrari is like 10 times better than this. Um, but uh, but yeah, those are my thoughts on Gran Turismo. As you can just tell by my face like how I feel. I don't even have to do words. Like, this is literally, yeah. So that's it for this review, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really don't know why I went to see it, but yeah. So I'm gonna head out now. I'm gonna get something to eat, and if you guys choose to see it, let me know in the comment section below. And that's gonna be it for me, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.